Hallo aus Berlin. Sorry, that was so bad. Okay, I'm going to be finishing what I started because in the previous video, yeah, kinda. I mean, for me, chronologically speaking, the last video I recorded was titled "How Can You Be So Certain?" Bjorn Strostrup 2019. That video. In that video, I took a bunch of notes. I'll just show you. In the video, I took a lot of notes, as you can see here, and yeah, I'm just thinking where the optimal position is for my camera right now. I guess bottom left is fine. I'll just try not to have too much happening in this exact corner. Yeah. So I annotated this thingy, this article, this article. What do you call this? This paper. That's right, by Bjorn Strostrup, KojoBailey, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go over it like in detail because I already made a video about it. Yeah. I need to. Yeah. So I made these annotations with my new Zettelkasten note-taking technique in mind. You guys can see here I recorded a 7-hour video. I'll just watch the video. A 7-hour video where literally all I did was try to learn what a Zettelkasten is, how to use it properly. And that was a video that was 7 hours of my life. So, but it was worth it, I think. I mean, obviously we'll see. But I think it was very insightful, and I'm quite optimistic about this new method of note-taking. So, I mean, I now have something in my inbox as well, but as you can see from my current things, you can kind of see, all of these are maths related. Because I was just testing, like, how my pre-existing notes would look on matrices in this case, because it was just an easy example, as Zettelkasten. So I took my existing note, which was titled matrix, just matrix, and that was one note, and I split it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different atoms. And these atoms are, I mean, people have different ideas of what a Zettelkasten is, but from my understanding, each title is a declarative statement, right? Like a determinant of 0 is a flattening. A matrix multiplied by its inverse is the identity matrix. KojoBailey is the best YouTube ever, right? Like these kind of declarative statements, and then you just elaborate. And one idea per note, that's basically the gist of it. And then there's a bit more behind it, but yeah, the idea is that if you do this, you'll be able to make connections quite easily, and I do think that's true. So what I did then to accommodate this style of note taking, or for about note logging, whatever, is when I went when I read through this article, because I was reading it for the first time, by the way. What I did was I took two types of notes. The ones in pink or pinkish red are questions I have about the questions and or notes I have about the actual text itself. So these are specific to the text, and the yellow ones are kind of ideas that are spawned from the text as a result. I mean, I'm not going to really do examples now because we will see them in a second. But that's it. Just two types of notes, two colors. That's it. And of course digital because it's just easier. And I took notes using Ocular. But I don't even know if I'll keep using that, to be honest. I mean, like, all I need from the PDF annotator is two colors and the ability to attach what do you call these? The ability to attach comments to the different highlighting things. By the way, I cannot do this, which is kind of awesome. Thank you, Windows. So yeah, I'm going to. Okay. So for the red ones, the pink ones, I'm going to see now in retrospect if I can answer some of the questions I had at the beginning to see if they were answered later or if I kind of understood it better. In retrospect. And the yellow ones should basically all have at least one atom that I can now add to my Zettelkasten. And by the way, this paper is like 7. It's like about 6 to 7 pages long. And I got a lot out of it. Partly because, I think because I've just started my Zettelkasten, so naturally there are going to be lots of new ideas that I don't already have. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how this works because I mean already to be fair, it helps that Bjorn Storstrup writes in quite a declarative style. Like the first sentences of his paragraphs are typically declarative statements. Um, and that makes it just a bit easier for me to therefore also make declarative statements from it. But yeah, I feel like this should work well with the Zettelkasten. So without further ado, let's just get into it, right? So first things first, I'm not going to create any atoms yet. I already know I'm going to get atoms from this, so I'm going to start with my sources note. Now, I don't think I have a template for this yet, so I may need to create one. I do have a template for this, I just haven't applied it yet. Okay, so we're going to go to my settings, we're going to go to my settings, going to go to templates, nope, templater, the plugin, and we're going to add a new folder template. This is for atoms, we're going to add a new one for sources, and we're going to use the source template. So now if I create a new source, note, you can see it matches a template of this. How do I get this? Shift? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it just creates a template. And then for these source notes, I'm just going to give it the title of the actual post. So it'll be, how can you be so certain? We can't use a question mark, so I'll just remove that. And we'll give dash the author's name. So this is Bjarne Strostrup. And then we have the year, which I think, yeah, I can use brackets, parentheses. So the dates, sorry. Like so. Now I could obviously put the date elsewhere. Or like, okay, so I mean, I think I said this in my 7-hour video, which is crazy, crazy long, but if I have the full date, I'll use it. If I only have the month, I'll do this. If I only have the year, like the month and the year, and if I only have the year, I'll do this. So like if it's a movie, I'll just do 2019. But if it's a paper with a specific date, I see no reason not to do this. Partially because these papers can have revisions, and therefore it's just useful to be able to refer to a specific date for a specific revision, I guess. So title, here we can include the question mark. Awesome. Authors, just one. Bjarne Strostrup, published 18/11/2019. I would prefer to have universal date format. I wonder if I can do that. I would love a search bar feature for the settings. I mean, here I have my those. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's my date format here. But it seems like this doesn't care. Unless I can change it, maybe. No? Okay. Tags. Yeah, so tags is like the media type. So this would be a paper, which is what I did. I don't have. Actually, I haven't done that before. But yeah, paper. Like an academic paper. Um, is what I guess you would call this. I mean, let's ask Claude for some verification. If I am categorizing media types, what should I call academic/research papers? Is just paper fine? Oh my god, types. Media types, bro. Whatever. Publication includes journal articles, conference proceedings, and article. Yeah. Okay. White papers and policy documents. Okay, I'll do academic paper. Academic paper. Yeah. Invalid tag name. Are you kidding? Okay. And then link to the source. So I have it here. This is the original. It's a PDF. Thank you, openstandard.org. In fact, I might even use See, I could use WG21 link, but there's always a risk that it gets taken down. But tell you what, I'll use both. I think I can afford to do that. So we got link, and I'll actually add a new property called mirrors, and this will be a list. So this P1962R0 URL. Yeah. So that should take me to the same thing. Indeed it does. And I'll add this to my template as well for source. So mirrors, yeah, lovely. Okay, so what I'm missing here is the paper ID. So I'll add yet another field. Can I drag this? I can. And I'll call this ID. And like for for a book, this would be its like bibliography ISBN ID, right? So actually I'll do IDs plural, just so it's more flexible. In this case, it is just this. Yeah, that looks good. Audience, EWG and LEWG. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I'm actually curious. What are the audiences in the context of the C++ Standard Committee? EWG is an evolution working group. Library evolution working group. Awesome. Yeah, so this was literally intended at the working groups, right? WG's working group, right? Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. Like he made like our the big daddy, the father of C++ made a post to the working group about how we shouldn't be so certain about language features and stuff like that. Honestly, great. I mean, like this, like I've already said in the other video, but like this paper would just work so well as a blog post, like for just for people to see. It's honestly crazy. It's honestly crazy. In fact, I don't think Bjorn writes blogs. Can I get the website? Aye, aye, aye. Like, I know he has papers here. Like, these are his publications. Okay, well, those are books. Like, he has his papers, but that's it. I don't think he makes blog posts in general. But he does keep these public, which is cool. And he links to open standards, so these should last. Um, can I get an RSS feed for this? Oh crap! What? Reading view, bro. Reading view is actually so cool. I kind of like it. Especially for sites like these. Wait, is that why these sites are so like bare bones? Not because they're lazy to add CSS, but because they expect people to use their own reading views and or terminal, I guess, access. That's crazy. That's actually kind of awesome. Okay, so yeah, because I really want more. How do I RSS this? Surely. No, please. 1991. As close to C as possible, but no closer. Is it 1991? 1989? 9? Yeah, I gotta read these. Like these early documents of C++ are gold, and it's crazy though that like we got some action in 2000s, 2007. Never mind, it's actually long as hell. But is there not a gap somewhere? No, actually no. Although he's definitely been quite active in the past few months. Although some of these are kind of like not duplicates, but like obviously related is thingies. Okay, so can I get compilers? Why is Apple first, bruv? Can I get... All I want is an RSS feed, please. Please, please. I should read. I've got to look through these quotes sometime. I'm actually going to bookmark this to look through the quotes later, because I think there's some gold here, and his explanations are really valuable. Interviews, the mind behind C++. Yeah, lots of interviews here. Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh my god, his legs. Oh god, this picture is iconic. Iconic. Hmm. Oh, this is his book. This is old though. It's very old. Um. Okay. All I want is an RSS feed. Anything here? Get everything. Sure. Give me the index. Pretty print. Is that an actual option? No. Okay. Um. Yeah. Not so useful. Okay. Well, let's go to openstandard.org or not because I can't highlight anything. So openstandard.org. Is there any RSS feed I can follow here? C++, papers, meetings. Okay. I mean, I don't want all the papers to be fair, because like there were a lot. Um, let's ask Claude when in doubt. Any chance I can get an RSS feed for this, or does that not fit an RSS feed? Its purpose. I mean, I just want an RSS feed to like notify me. Um, although when I look at it in Vivaldi, it shows me the actual article too. Oh, oh, wait, so I just create my own. That's cool. But I believe this thing could help me. Let's see if I can get anything out of the built-in Vivaldi one. I mean, I don't see an option for like custom ones, so how's this work? Yes, empty. Oh well, that's fine. It's fine. Okay. Anyway, anyway. So yeah, anyway. So this is the source. So for the source, I can add specific quotes such that I can then reference them. So I can't remember how you do it though. So I think I need to actually find one of the videos I watched yesterday. Um, let's try. Let's see what we get. Zettelkasten Obsidian. I remember their faces. Um, I think it was this guy. Yeah, from Sergio. He showed how to link reference notes
into 10 or 15. There's no right or wrong way to write the free trial to Readwise is Readwise folder which contains all of my reference notes.
Yeah, so he has Okay, I don't know. I don't know why there's a hashtag here, but here, it looks like you just use the subheadings.
Notes from all the stuff I've captured. Readwise is great, but it isn't free, and if you want double the free trial to see if you want to actually build knowledge, create a new node.
Okay. Yeah, so like location 149, 176. I don't know where he gets these location numbers from. I guess Readwise.
Which is this one right here, where I summarized the book and I wrote down what I got out of it. That's the literature note. Over here on the top, you can see I have a literature tag, and I also have a medium here, because I also take literature notes on academic papers, articles, and so on. Now you might be thinking, why not just keep one note as opposed to keeping a... It's gonna take me right there.
Yep.
Not
Pause.
only this note...
Yeah, okay. So he... Oh, he links to a hash ID. So you can link to references like this, but then how does it
with
look?
this exact highlight. So if I go on it, it's gonna take me right there. And when I'm writing...
Here. Okay. So that's the link there. Okay. Good to know. I just saw his... What's
what
this
I got
about?
out of it. That's the literature.
Okay. Also, I have commentaries and sources. The sources are just the information. The commentaries are my thoughts on that information. Um, Mind you, does that make sense to do to separate it? Actually, now I'm actually less sure about separating them because like in his system, right? The like look at this. You have his reference notes is just the type the author's name and the title, and then his literature note is the author's name and the title. The only difference is the reference has the prefix RW, which means that each RW only links to one literature note. But this guy's reasoning was that it means you can keep track of references without needing to without needing to worry about making notes on them. But I'm not sure. Okay, like what actually separates these here? He just has tags inbox, readwise. Readwise is RW. Okay. Uh, I can't click my notifications. Awesome. What's this? Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, I mean, like, I'm not sure if it's actually worth it then. Okay, let me just try making this and see if I naturally can find a way to just have annotations. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to... Okay, I really want to check my notifications, but for some reason my thing's just frozen here, which is awesome.
Summarize the...
I'm going to reload
into...
my video. That's right. Um, okay, so first things first, let's go to the paper here. Um, how big is this PDF actually? About a megabyte. Because, I mean, you get storage from... Whoops. You get... Obsidian gives you storage. The Obsidian Sync. I need to update these. Exclude media, exclude reminders, exclude templates, Exclude all of these errors, drafts, wiki. Keep atoms, keep sources, and keep commentaries, I guess. Do I even keep sources? The sources aren't part of the Zettelkasten themselves. So I'm actually going to say no. It's the atoms. Really, it's only the atoms that should be shown. Oh, but for links, yeah. For links, yeah, it's fine. Okay. It's my tree I'm worried about. I should be able to see my storage. It's somewhere here, probably. Sync. Here we go. You get 1 gig. So I could link the PDFs directly, and I would get 1,000 PDFs in before I reach my storage limit. So I guess I could just do that. Oh no, but then it means that I have to. That means that if I want to annotate something, I need to literally include the entire file. This is 4 pages. I feel like a bigger file is going to be a lot worse. So what to do? What to do? Like, what's a good format for this? I think there was a reference plugin too, where I can just kind of auto-generate some like bogus hash or whatever. But I don't have that, I guess. So, like, we need to think harder. For what purpose? Why is it an imperative need? That was my question. Empirical observations, like, what was my question? But ignoring that, like, this is the phrase yellow note. I badly need it is not a conclusive argument. So let's say I were to copy this, which is a direct quote from the excerpt, and I'll label it as a quote. And then what? Like, do I want or something? Or space, right? And then I could do like IDK. No, it has to be a link. And this has to be a link, I think. Yep. So those are for references like that. But these also just act as tags. So I can have this, right? And let's just like, I don't know, add like a bunch of just random text. Really inefficient, but whatever. And then at the end as well. Okay, so this is our file. Now, if I were to go to my atom, and let's say I were to link to this, so yep, I can be so certain. Hashtag heading. Boom. Cool. It even saves it. So now if I click on this, it'll take me straight to this section. Perfect. And just to prove that, I'll scroll up, click it again. You can see I get taken down to this. Okay, so that works. I'll just Control Z. I'll just delete this actually. And Control Z, all of this stuff. Yeah. Okay. So that works. Although, what do I even like call these? Yeah, that's cool. I could even put it here, right? Yeah. I guess that works. And then what? I just like put my stuff inside, my notes. So this is kind of problematic because I can't actually access what's inside. So I will need to open this, not in Vivaldi, but in the new app, which isn't an option. I'll have to find it in my PC. Can't be arsed. Let's just launch this. Yeah. So for this one, or browsing. Just copy this to my Obsidian, and like this, right? So, thing is, how do I check that location? And I actually wouldn't mind having randomly generated hashes here, but I low-key forgot how to do that. There should be a plugin for it though. Okay, let me just look at these real quick. I use bases for now. I show backlinks. Let me actually change this as well to that's tags, not tags. I want something else. Table of contents, backlinks, outgoing links. So for this one, for example, outgoing links and backlinks. Okay, like this. This has backlinks, right? I think those are useful. Or it's just a table of contents, but I don't have much content, so yeah, I'll do backlinks. I think that's useful to have there. This obviously has no backlinks. Um, Bookmarks. Save shortcuts to files such as headings and graphs. I don't know how bookmarks actually work. That's the thing. Like, are they what I'm using, or let's check Google Obsidian bookmarks. Literally a button for it. Oh, here. Literally, I've never seen this before. Why would I make bookmarks? I want to disable that until I feel like I have an actual use for it, or like a use case I have necessitates it. Okay, thanks for closing that. Canvas. I don't know what Canvas is actually useful for. I want to keep it just in case though, because I might use it for like blogs and stuff. So I will test it out. Command palette. Look, you forgot that existed. Control P. But like, what would I even do? Settings. Oh, control. Uh, this open settings. Control comma. Daily notes. Sure. File recovery. Files. Footnotes. Show a list of footnotes on the current note. Where is that? One of these? Yeah. Hmm. Um, Format converter, graph view, note composer, merge two notes or split one into two. Uh, I can't think of a use for this, so I'll just disable that. Outgoing links, outline, show the table of contents. Yep. Page preview. Yep. Properties view. Show the metadata for your files in the sidebar. So properties are like these. Oh, here. What? Okay, that was a different title. I don't know if I need this box, but I guess these are there. But then I don't need them in two different places though. But yeah, whatever. It's there, I guess. Um, Publish. How do I publish notes actually? Go back to my files here. And I got recent files and search. I literally never use search like ever, but publish. Like publish where? Nah, that's not a feature I'll probably ever use. I should back this up on my GitHub though, honestly. at some point in case my computer like just explodes. I'd be very sad. If this session goes well, I'll back up my stuff then. Oh shit! Yeah, the clock's just jumped ahead by 1 hour. Awesome. That's one less hour to sleep. Am I right? Um, Properties view. I said key. Publish. No, turn off. Quick switcher. Jump to other files with your keyboard. Low key. How? Show attachments. Show all file types. Dude, like, so some of these are just so vague. I don't even know what they're saying. Is quick switcher quick? Open quick switcher. Is Control O? That's for finding or creating a note. Okay. I guess I'll. Is that even useful though? Like, if I want to make a note called identity matrix, yeah, it does highlight it. I like the identity matrix is awesome. Like, how useful would this actually ever be, as opposed to just searching with control space? I'm gonna disable this feature. It's two ways to do the same thing, but the quick switcher is just worse. Random notes, fuck no. Is that a feature I actually have? A dice roll. I don't ever use that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, just no. If I need like true randomness, I'll just look in the graph view and I'll find something that way probably. Search for a keyword in all the notes. Yep, that's huge. Slash commands, like like what slash commands? Like just having forward slash. Like I want to use forward slash. Presentation. No. Sync. Yep. Tags view. Show a list of all tags. Yeah. Templates. Obviously. Unique notes creator. I see. So this is for the Zettelkasten system. I don't want a unique note creator. I want a unique reference creator. But that's not what this is for. But anyway, cool feature if you're someone who doesn't like things being legible. So I'll just say, oh my god, my eye, bro. Like bolognese in my eye. I had dinner. I made dinner. It's bolognese. Um, my eye, bro. Oh my god. Okay, I actually need to wash my eye out. Sui. Web viewer, no. Word count, yes. Workspaces, yes. Okay. And then community plugins. Restricted mode is off. Do check for plugin updates, but don't just update it automatically, please. What's this do? Just reload. Okay. Improve table navigation. Yeah, advanced tables. Good. Word counts. Good. Calendar. Good. Um, Actually, no. I don't like it. File Explorer plus plus. Good, I guess. File order. Don't use. Just do it manually. Iconize. Awesome. Markdown for Uganda. Awesome. Omni search. I forgot that wasn't a native feature. Opener. You type by default. Yeah, I'm surprised that that's not default behavior. Or like at least like you don't have the option for it. It's really strange. Recent files. Is that this? Well, yeah, why not? Or is that for this? I actually don't know. Sheet extended, vertical headers, merge cells, and custom CSS tables. I guess those work in tandem somehow. Office control for adjusting theme, plugin, and snippet variables. Oh yeah, that was like when I installed that. And then tag wrangler, sure, templater, yeah. Okay, and let's have a look for some more because I specifically want. I specifically want um name generation, tag generation, reference generation. Escalator is really popular, but like, what even is it actually about? Sketching tool. Okay, I'm not a drawing type of guy, so I don't really care. Get integration would be good though. Automatically commit, pull, push, and see your changes. Automatic commit and sync. Auto pull on Obsidian startup. Submodule support. Damn. Source control view, history view. I don't care for this. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. I mean, I'll just do it manually. I don't mind. Sync notes between local and cloud. Why am I even looking at these random things? Okay, so let's have a look for tag ref uh bookmark maybe. Generator. Text generation. Oh my god, bro. Why are you generating text with OpenAI for note taking? Quiz generator, flashcard generator, random number generator. That's what I need. Let's just do random. Dice roller. What? Okay. Random notes. Quiz of the day. To do. Testing vault. Random names. What? IP? What the hell, bro? Okay. Random number. Generate hash. So yeah, I need hashes. First of all, what does this do? Is it just a number? It supports hexadecimals. And how about hash? Oh, that's how hash commands work. See. Yep. I'm surprised that this is so few downloads. Like less than 700 for an app that is as that's fairly popular, all things considered. So I will just what's this? Format converter. Literally, where's this from? Zettelkasten link beautifier. Um, can I disable this so I don't like accidentally do it somehow? Format converter. Oh, that's what this was. Convert Markdown from other apps to Obsidian format. Okay, so this is like greater autonomy. I don't understand. I can't even hide it. I can't hide it. I can, right? Okay, yeah. I can hide this. Advanced tables. Sure, I guess. Template term? I mean, I don't. I have a shortcut for it, but command palette, graph view, delete note, OmniSearch. Oh yeah, Loki have a OmniSearch thing as well. Okay, where's the hash button? It's not here, is it? That really suck. Is it installed? Or do I need to label it? Hash, generate hash. Yeah, let's turn it on. There it is. So if I just click it, do I just get a random one? Perfect. And there are other settings for it. I'd hope so. Maybe not though. Nope, there are. Number of bytes to generate. So why is it 6 bytes? Like 4 bytes. 4 bytes should suffice. It'll be 8 characters long and have a maximum limit of U32 max. 4 billion different possibilities. So I think 4 is enough. So let's just hash. Yeah, cool. So that I just linked to that. Lovely. Okay, that was yeah. That's what I needed. So I badly need it. Is so okay. So my question is, how do I? So let's ask Click for ideas again. If I want to, okay, I have take. You know what? Let's just speak because typing is boring. I didn't ask. Okay. I have taken notes using a PDF annotation app. These notes are comments tied to different things I've highlighted, and now I'm wondering what is the best way to go about quote unquote exporting these notes to a linear format such as Obsidian notes. Like, I want a way to be able to know the origin of the source, but it's a PDF, more specifically, an academic research paper PDF. So, is there some kind of convention for example, referring to a specific line? I could just use the title of that section, obviously, but I'm wondering if I can get even more specific than that with a genuine convention that is recognized. I love text to speech, bro. Speech to text. To this symbol, I wish I had it on my keyboard, but I don't. I have a beta keyboard. Okay. Um. Yep. So the answer is no. That's fine. So I'll just do this, I guess. We need to think harder. Like these are the names of the sections, right? And that's how I'll do it. Seems good. So I'm guessing it would be conclusive if the person explained why they need it. In fact, the same probably goes for all of these surface arguments. Okay, so these are just my notes. So I'll just kind of export those. Um, I guess this can be a bit tedious. I don't know if that's a worry. I don't know. Whoops. So these are three. I'm guessing, okay, so particularly interesting since modern languages like Rust and Zig, and even before, languages like Java, lets people requesting features for C++ that weren't necessarily well designed or fitting C++ without improvement. Okay. Need a space after these. So if I were to turn these into atomic notes, I badly need it is not a conclusive argument. I'm guessing it would be conclusive if the person explained why they need it. In fact, the same probably goes for all of these surface arguments. So an argument is made more conclusive if the arguments are more yeah. Arguments are conclusive if they provide an explanation. So like what does conclusive even mean? Dictionary. Having or likely to have the effect of proving a case. Yeah, I knew that. What the hell? So an argument is conclusive if it is able to provide actual reasoning. I badly need it. No, 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 no. Why do you need it? I need it because um, of my specific use case. Is that a conclusive argument? All modern languages have it. All modern languages have it because I mean these are just fallacies. So I don't even know if I'll yeah I don't know if I can make a note from that specifically. So in this case, I will leave it here, but I just won't reference it, and I should be able to see outlinks. So that should tell me which ones are and aren't linked, or at least tell me which ones are, and then I can kind of infer which ones aren't. Also, I have this, but I guess I could also just do this. Just so like, I mean, like, oh, and also like this, just so it's a bit more like explicit. But the benefit of having these is that when you link to it, how can you be so like if I do hashtag like this, it doesn't tell me the surrounding context. Whereas if I do this reference, it does actually show me the thing it links to. Like for this hash, I get this. It tells you the text content. So for that reason, I'll do this. However, I will separate them like so, just for easier visual parsing. Right? Yeah, that looks pretty good to me actually. And then that's the box is just for boxing. I mean, I could remove the box. Have it like this even. Yeah, that's better. If this is pedantic, don't worry. I swear this is actually useful. Let's remove this as well. And then we just have this, right? Yeah, looks good to me. So yeah, so now I just drive the notes. So particularly interesting since more modern languages like Rust and Zig, and even before languages like Java, lets people requesting features for C++ that weren't necessarily well designed or fitting without improvement. Um, for example, so I will like expand my notes here as well with more context. So for example, because these notes should hopefully have some context. At least like my thoughts should have context. Obviously, if it's for the text itself, then I've linked to it. But I should my notes should have make some sense as well. My own annotations. So particularly interesting since more modern languages like Rust and Zig and even before languages like Java led to people requesting features for C++ that weren't necessarily well designed or fitting that improvement. Any examples of this then? So like recently, pattern matching is one, right? I mean, I don't know about traits. Like, yeah, I don't know if anyone's requested traits for C++. I don't know how they would do that in anyway. And concepts are a different idea. Different yet somewhat similar idea. As are interfaces, anyway. Java added JIT. No one wanted that for C++, I don't think. Or at least if they did, it didn't take off. Um, I don't know if I have actual evidence for this claim. Like what? Like yeah, I guess I'm just thinking of sentiment I've seen where like a feature gets added and people are like, oh, I wish C++ had this. Like I wish C++ has sometimes. Yeah, like so for example, um, Rust enums and pattern matching. Now, did this give a note? Like, do I have a note from this? I badly need it is not a conclusive argument. All modern languages have it is not a conclusive argument. Just because a language has a feature doesn't mean it fits in every language. There was another article I read actually about how Zig's generics don't work in other languages, and it kind of talks about this argument of this language has it, so other languages should have it. Um, which is an interesting point, and I'd like to make a connection there if I can. So can I make so yeah so can I make an atom from this? It is fallacious to say it is fallacious to claim that a feature should be added to a programming language just because it's popular. It's kind of a nothing burger statement, so I'm gonna leave that as well. We can implement it is a necessary but not sufficient reason to accept a feature. We can implement it is a necessary but not sufficient reason. This is particularly important in the case of C++ since it has no system for deprecating or moving all features. Rust, on the other hand, has additions and therefore may be more equipped for such experimentation. Is it necessary but not sufficient? I mean, like these early notes are not as good as some of these later notes. Um, but I'm like I mean like I know that going into this, but I'm just trying to see if I can get anything from it anyway. We can implement it. It's a necessary but not sufficient reason to accept the feature. So what like C++ should not add features just because it can. Okay, I like this as as an atom. So C++. I mean, like my philosophy here as well is to generalize as much as possible. But other programming languages could add features just because. So it's rather more like C++ in particular should not add new features just because it can, or just because they are possible to add. Okay, topics C++. Dot base. I don't know if I want to keep using bases, to be honest, but assuming I do. Um, Programming language design. Yeah, I could. I mean, I can change this later. Um, then go back to my notes. I already have notes, so I can kind of just copy paste this, can't I? This is particularly important in the case of C++, since it has no system. Okay, so first thing I can do is reference this. So to show you how this works, actually, how should this be a link? I don't know. How let's try. How can you be so certain? And then we can see these things. Oh, I just realized it doesn't even like if I link to this, it creates a unique ID. Wait, so it does it automatically. But if I link to this, it knows to use it. Is that right? Yeah, it just created one for me. Wait, so I don't actually need to generate hashes at all. I can just depend on the thing to do it for me. Oh, in that case, never mind. So I don't. So okay. So I don't do it manually. I just do this. I type this. I look for the quote. Rust enums and pattern matching. The thing is that it's harder to navigate. Like, is there a way where I can only show the existing thingies? Like that's this. So now it's created this afterwards. That's fine. I think it's fine. I mean, if I need to, I can do it manually. If I don't need to, it's fine. Well, let me just check as well. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 8. This is just 6. So in the case I do want to do it manually, I just to make sure this is 3 bytes, so the size matches. Otherwise, looking good. Oh, that's cool. It should be the exact thing. Okay. Yeah. So then we elaborate. So so unlike Rust, which has an addition system for tracking for version control, C++ has okay. C++ has no system for deprecating and or moving old features without affecting legacy code. This means that it is this means that C++ is much less has to be is much less free to experiment with features and has to and has and should really think carefully and careful thought needs to be put into proposals for additions to the language. just because a feature is possible to implement uh, doesn't mean it deserves to be. Therefore, okay, nice. I'm just worried. I'm just weary that there are no links here. Like, how would I link to other code to other posts in this case? C++ has no system for deprecating or moving old features without affecting legacy code. Like, is that another atom? This means that C++ is much less free to experiment with features, and careful thoughts be okay. Therefore, just because feature doesn't mean it deserves to be. Yeah, okay. So that's one note that I've just created. Do I link it here as well? Do I link it here? I can see backlinks. So I guess I don't really have to. I wish it could like display the links here, but it's fine. Not a big deal. Okay. So next notes, right? Here. So we select our text. This one's a big chunk, but no worries. Yep, just quotes. Don't know why I split up the lines like that. Can I prevent that? I can't. Damn. Okay. Which room? Okay, so what? Paste this. I mean, this is a bit redundant having to like copy paste my things here, but I don't think it's a big deal. Bjarn, okay. Which room? Yeah, so where they commit. So Bjarn continues to surprise with a scientific approach to thinking, surprise me, about language design and implementation, as people should. He employs thinking that I first saw from the outline of psychology as the kind of thinking that fields of research in general would benefit massively from and more people adopted them. Not just saying anything Bjarn was the kind of person, but rather I was worried that he wouldn't be, especially after having listened to other programmers that have been science for years. So, what's the note here then? Bjarn is the goat. Bjarn is a very cool person. Actually, I could do that. Like it is an atom that I could use in a blog or something. Bjarn is a true father of his language. Bjarn continues to surprise me. It can be personal, right? Bjarn is a critical thinker. Bjarn Strostrup is surprisingly goated. I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know. Okay, moving on. Not when they're ready to leave the room, when it's late in the week, people are tired, and when they're cute. Okay. So that was this note. Oh my days. Well, it's all link. Not when there are relatively few people in the room, and it's late in the week, and people are tired or on key. So my note here was There's a bigger statement. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. There's a bigger statement about in the moment decisions in general and how requiring a decision in such a quick time frame. Time frame. Yeah, I'll do one word. Could be a couple of days or a matter of seconds. Excludes a lot of potential for better decision making. Right. So if I make a note for it. Sorry, I thought, oh my God, my brain just hallucinated a cockroach. That's crazy. That is concerning. Um, decision making. Decision making. Not base. Yeah. Whoopsie. Um, yeah. So I can just copy paste my own words because it's my own words. Requiring a decision in such a quick time frame excludes a lot of potential for better decision making. That sounds like a good note title. Requiring a decision in such a quick time frame, prompting a decision to be made in a short time frame excludes a lot of potential for better decision making. Yeah. So, for example, for references, we'll have how can use a certain, and we'll link to this latest point. And then to expand on this, when a decision is hastily made due to time pressure, we fail to. I mean, this is what I should have written in my actual noting as well, because I believe I said this out loud, but I just didn't like actually write it down until later on in the article when I kind of locked in. We fail to. Yeah, I mean, we miss the chance to, or like we do not allow ourselves to think more, well, to consider a wider range of data, arguments, and factors. Well, just do it. Okay, data and arguments that would otherwise influence us or inform us to make, well, yeah, that would otherwise allow for more informed decision making. Therefore, therefore we should therefore we should likely therefore it would make sense to delay decision making for as long as possible, really, within reason. The thing is, to say within reason is like, what is within reason? Um, you never know. Not something that's possible, but like delay decision making until a suitable range of sources have been consulted for the importance of such a decision. Okay, and then I sense another atom in this, which is that a suitable range of sources should be consulted proportional to the importance of a decision. So proportional to the importance of such a decision. So if it's like, yo, bro, should I eat like a sandwich or a burger today? And it's like, I don't know, bro, I don't care. Like if it's a very inconsequential decision, then just who cares? But if it's something bigger, then don't be so hasty. So prompting a decision to be made hastily. So when a decision is hastily made to high temperature and all that stuff, yeah. Is this an atom or like another note? It would make sense to delay decision making until a suitable range of sources have been consulted. Because then, if you make a decision, like if I make another note, title what I just said. Um, decision making should be no, a final decision should be delayed proportional to the to that decision's importance. So too hastily making a final decision on some issue excludes the potential for a more informed decision. There are many day-to-day decisions we make that don't necessarily warrant such warrants or necessitate a longer much thought. They don't warrant much thought. But sometimes we also find ourselves under or even self-impose time pressure to make a decision that is that does actually that could actually have serious consequences to consider, uh, positive or negative, whatever, to make like that actually have important consequences to consider. Therefore, it makes sense. Therefore, it seems logical that one should prolong a decision to be made when based on the importance of a decision, of that decision, so as to allow themselves more time to consider a wide range of sources. However, it is, yeah. However, sometimes we are faced with decisions, important decisions, that don't necessarily, however, this does not, yeah. So, therefore, extend the time frame if possible until you feel confident that your decision is well informed, or just make the most of the time you do have to access that wide range of sources. As opposed to just focusing on a few, on a limited data set. Okay. I mean, yeah. This, I feel like this is a good atom, but it obviously derives from this. So I almost wonder if I don't even need this one, because like I already restated here, right? So what I can do instead is actually copy this, and then here, so as to allow, yeah, so then put the link here. See, like these are two ideas in one note. So I should not have this, right? This is one idea though. Like here's the context, and then here's like the actual declarative statement, and it uses this and it sources this, right? So topics, yeah, decision making. Okay, I guess. I'm not super confident, but got to do something. So then humility, uh, garbage collectors are deemed essential. Yeah, so this is true. Yep. Literally since the languages, literally before the languages, well, literally during the language's conception. Ironically, concepts, conception. Don't know. He does not elaborate in this article, in this paper. Unsure. Likely due to the language at risk of screwing yourself over with bad decisions. Okay. Suggestions. Implementations tend to improve over years and decades, provided the user interfaces and models of use are clean. So that's the quote. My reflection. I agree massively with this, and it's reassuring to see Brown agree. Well, scheiße. Why is it even yellow? Like, some of these should probably be pink, to be honest. Because like they're not really adding any insight. They're just commenting on that on the text. So that, yeah, making that distinction will be important for future posts. Implementations tend to improve over years and decades, provided the user interfaces and models of use are clean. So, I guess I was implying that I should just make this an atom. So a clean model or like a clean interface, a clean abstraction, or like a clean abstract model. These are my own words though. A clean abstract model of a system um, system guides implementation or of a system. Yeah, like guides implementation to a clean abstract model. Okay, let me think like Feynman here. A clean abstract model of a system ensures that if you are making an implementation, or like not ensures, but it helps guide the implementation to be better over time, because the expected output stays the same, and then you have freedom to do the input. So a clean abstract of a model, a clean abstract model of a system guides the implementation to rather provides the flexibility, but also purpose for an implementation to improve over time rather than become convoluted and rather aimless. Convoluted and rather aimless. Yeah. And purpose. A clean abstract model. A I would say, a clear abstract model of a system provides flexibility and purpose for its implementation to improve over time, rather than become convoluted and yeah, to improve over time. A Without such a model, the implementation may be rather directionless. Only, yeah, too focused on not directionless, but the implementation um, is its own model, is instead its own model, trapping it to never change or to never improve in a meaningful way. In a yeah to to never improve in any significant way. Is instead it's that yeah is instead its own model, trying to never improve in any significant way. And fail to meet the needs of the users. And this actually makes you think, because like if you if yeah, because like if you're just worried on how to achieve a goal, right, as opposed to the goal itself, like let's say like a good example actually, a a pretty good example is focusing on focusing on implementing a system for note taking without actually okay like a good meta example is focusing on implementing a system for note taking without actually understanding what you what you want to get out of the system. Often because that understanding no no because yeah you should know what you want from your system, whereas if yeah if if you just blindly make notes hoping they will be useful somehow, not only do they likely end up not being useful long term, but the system you create but you also find that your implementation wasn't even sustainable to begin with. Okay. So to title this then, leading implementation from abstraction leading from extraction allows implementation allows flexible and purposeful implementation that allows purposeful implementation with the flexibility to improve over time. Yeah, I feel like this is good. It's just a very strange way of writing notes, and it's also quite difficult. But I do like this. I feel like this will be useful to me because every time I look at these notes, or like every time I think about these notes with like doubt in my mind, I just think, how am I like, what would I even actually use this for? Because like they're not conventional, which is why like the back of my mind's like, is this really good notes? But then I just think, okay, well, why am I doing this? My abstract model, right, of my system, and what I expect from it. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I can see how I can literally just copy and paste this into a blog post talking about the importance of abstraction, and like that's it. That's what I want my notes to be, to literally be my thoughts, not just an archive of information like a wiki, but my thoughts. And these are my thoughts. Like I haven't summarized anything. I have produced these myself, which is quite cool. I just worry that they're wrong, but I guess I do. Yeah, like my biggest worry is that my thoughts are just wrong and misguided. But I guess I don't really. I can't really think about that. Like if they are wrong and misguided, then I can. Yeah, I don't know. Like with the Zettelkasten, let's ask Claude to see if there's any like if anyone else has talked about this before. But before that, topics abstraction or models of thinking, which includes abstraction. Okay. Um, some doubts I have with my Zettelkasten is that I'm not sure what to do. No, okay, it didn't work anyway. Hello? Are you working? Claude, you are a fake individual. Hello? Can you hear what I am saying? Claude, please. Hello, Claude. Are you there? Bro, is it not picking up my microphone? Is that why? Hello, Claude. Okay, that's weird. Um, an issue I have with Zettelkasten. Yeah, so an issue I'm having with my Zettelkasten is that I'm unsure of what to do if I find that my thinking is misguided. Like, I can create notes of my thoughts, but what if the thoughts themselves have flaws? Is there any advice, like from the guy who invented Zettelkasten in the first place, on what to do when you come back to old thoughts and realize that they aren't actually good thoughts? Because from my understanding, you don't want to delete notes in your Zettelkasten. So maybe the issue is that I shouldn't have thoughts that can be bad in the first place. Tell me more about this. My mom's just let's focus. I hate everything. Meanwhile, dog food tasters check the flavor and safety of pet food products, typically earning around 34,000 to 100,000 annually. Not gonna lie, I would eat dog food for $100,000 annually. I mean, that's like 52 weeks, right? So that's like a maximum of, okay, like roughly $2,000 a month. Hey, I'll take that. I mean, a week, sorry. Yo! Hell yeah. Right. Just to clarify terminology first, the system is called Zettelkasten. Um, not okay. Yeah, I didn't. What acetylcasten? Okay, that's not my fault. That's your text to speech. Okay, float notes are not a problem. They're the point. It's a thinking parser, not an archive of correct conclusions. Okay, Liman described it as a communication partner, a tool for interactive thinking in partnership with your ideas. The system is meant to surface contradictions and tensions between notes. Wait, so you want contradictions? I mean, you don't want it, but like, it's good when you find them because it shows that you can correct them. Do not delete it. Annotate it. Create a new note that contradicts, corrects, or supersedes it, and link the two together. Ooh, okay, okay. How do I? How should I do that? Let the network do the work. Okay. Update your commentary slash synthesis notes. Your middle layer notes are where synthesis lives. Those are the appropriate place to reconcile contradictions from your atomic notes. On the fear of bad thoughts. Oh, it's a place to think, not to publish finished ideas. Interesting. So I guess then the most important thing is just that you're able to understand your your train of thought. Because like if I read it later and I'm just like, what? Like that's not useful. In fact, it's counterproductive. But if I do understand what I'm saying, I'm like okay, like then I get to the heart of what's wrong with it. So a clear abstract model of a system provides the flexibility and purpose for its implementation to prove of time. The system model, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is okay, and like, I do well with examples, you know, so because like this is very abstract in of itself, but having a concrete example helps the abstraction carry forward. Um, do I make a Zettelkasten saying not to worry about having float notes? The issue is if I ask AI questions, like who do I even who do I reference? I guess I can just reference the AI, right? Like and then like in the references just put um like this. So like that, and I think I can link to these, right? I can share links to posts because like they are permanent. Well, give it out my account. And like references aren't like credible. Like they don't have to be credible sources. It's more just references for your train of thought. So like you could have like watched a movie which is just like completely wrong. But like it inspired a thought, and therefore you reference it as your as the origin of your thought. I think that's why I need to think about that system as well, or this system. So did I link to this? I didn't. So I think it was here. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. So that's this post. References. Yeah, that makes sense. So let me actually make some atoms about Zettelkasten because I do want to do this. It just makes sense. Um, Zettelkasten references our origins are track triggers of for thoughts, not credible sources. So you got a meta post here, Zettelkasten base. Yeah. So the references section below each Zettel note are not typical, are not akin to wiki style references, as they do not cite sources of information. Rather, they document what led you to have a certain thought in the first place. Therefore, it doesn't have to be that that a Zettel logically derives from or logically follows from the thing it's referencing. Just that it is noted how just that it can be inferred how a thought from an outside source inspired a source within me, a thought within me. Yeah, and I don't have a reference for this right now, which is fine. It's fine because I don't need one. Um, let's put my phone on do not disturb. Okay, cool. I'm okay. I'm feeling more comfortable now. I feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable. Um, I should probably not have these actually. It's a bit confusing. Yeah. That was this. So my other. Oh. Okay. So no. This was the thing. Yeah. So the reference here was this. Um. Boop. Yeah. There you go. If I hover. Do I even like put these? Do I link these? A class runnable of a system provides flexibility and purpose for like do I do an inline citation here? I think so. Where it makes sense, I should do it. So then I just have it like this. Yeah, references and then inputs that at the bottom, which is fine. Maybe I should even just do this, right? Oh, but they get double lines. Annoying. Yeah, it's fine. So if I click on this, I get taken to this. Cool. Can I do it? So can I do that for the others? Then I'm wondering. Can I do that for the others? Then I'm wondering. So prompting a decision is hastily made. When a decision is hastily made due to time pressure, we don't allow ourselves to consider a wider range of data and arguments that would otherwise allow for more informed decision making. Source, yeah, that's fine. That's like the whole thing is just from that one reference. And then here, unlike Rust, which has an additional system, C++ has no system for deprecating and or moving old features without affecting legacy code. Okay, and this is the reference here. Here. Okay. And I should, yeah, and then this should also apply to links to notes from notes. So if I look at my graph, I don't know what's going to show here. It's going to show my sources as well. So let's change this here. I have groups. We're going to delete these groups. Display. Tags. No. Show non-existing files, I guess. Orphans. Yes. But specifically only show certain things in the graph view. I think I can do that in my settings, right? So graph view, for some reason there isn't a core page for it. It's kind of annoying, but it's here somewhere. I think. Here's graph view. I just forgot how you customize it. Is it files and links? Hidden in search, graph view, and unlinked message mentions. Yeah, the thing is, I wanted to show in in search. That's fine because it'll show in Omni search still. I think like if I search for matrix, which is yeah like it still shows the old ones. That's fine then. Although I do wish I could like make it just specifically for the map the graph. So for the graphs, do I include sources? I mean, my diary entries are kind of messing it up right now. But for now, so yeah, so let me disable sources for now. So so right now it should just be my atoms, and I also need to archive. No, maps. Those exist. Show the maps, yes. Show the projects, yes. But their links are messed up. Okay, I need to sort out my projects too. For now, I'll disable them. Um, do these show inbox and I assume no, so that should be okay. Okay, so if I just open graph view again, nice. Right, so we see that how these are linking so far. I can really see how like this would very quickly explode. Um, yeah, okay, so conventions is showing and inbox is showing. That's not right. That's not good. So let's add inbox and conventions. Okay. So for example, matrix as a base has these three links. It's still that big, but it could become bigger over time, I guess. Linear algebra has a base. I mean, all this shows is that like I don't really need a base for that, but like yet. But like if they got really big, I could do that. I do love like unconnected things. But okay, I can I yeah. I see the vision. I see the vision. I mean, like the graph isn't the point anyway. It's just like a cool visual thing. But like I just want to kind of see how it's connecting so far. And what I can infer is that I do have some orphans, and my bases are very small. Node size. Okay. Any groups I can make? Not really. Tag, line, section, property. No, no need. Okay, let's continue then. Zettelkasten registers track triggers for thought, not credible sources. Zettelkasten notes should be atomic. So I'll make a new one. This one's also meta. Atomic notes contain one idea. Focus on one idea. So this is also a meta Zettelkasten note. And screw it. I'm gonna remove the base. I think bases are just not flexible enough for my use case. So I'm actually going to just remove the bases entirely. The issue is that these aren't added to maps, but I do want them. I do want them to be. Like if I have maps /C++, will this create? Yeah, it does that, which is not what I was looking for. Um, 4 maps, right? That would work. But then the display title is 4 maps. So that's the issue there. Like if I just click it, it'll link to it. Okay, in this case, it's going to link to my other thing. So I guess it searches for it. How strange. How bizarre. Yeah, whatever. It's fine for now. Zettelkasten should be like that. Models of thinking should just be no base. No base suffix. It's bad enough that I need the suffix anyway. Like why? That's just like that is making it not very transferable to other applications. I mean, like I like if I ever start using Obsidian, I have no guarantee that they'll support bases, right? So I shouldn't use bases anyway. Um, Lots of these matrix ones. You're not the matrix, just matrix from maths. Something I'm still unsure about though is can I use my Zettelkasten for just like learning normal things? Like if I learn like mathematical concepts, like those kind of need to be like those are my thoughts. But like can I use that to like revise? I guess so. Like for my exams in the last semester of uni, I used my notes to revise questions. Not questions, to revise topics. Like, for example, probability. I know some probability and those notes because like I went through them and like made them look nice and all that. Not look nice, but like reads well. Like I made sure like the actual content was good. Then I feel like that helped me quite a bit because it forced me to really understand it. But I could do the same for this, right? And I get the same output because I'm just writing what I understand, but just as atomic notes. So it should be the same, I guess. Let me delete these. Do I put maps inside the atoms? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. So look at the graph now. Yep. So now none of these exist beforehand. C++ isn't being linked to, but that's because I have C++ in my archive. I need to go through all of these notes and just completely get rid of them. Really, I should make a separate vault to start fresh, then export my notes. But I think I'll just because like I have like now 2 weeks ish of this Easter break, so I think I'll just use this time to go through my notes and kind of port them. Yeah, it is a slippery slope because what I mean, I regardless of how this Zettelkasten thing goes, I just don't think my old note taking method was particularly effective. So, like, I would have been better off writing educational resources for other students, and like that literally would have been worth more than me writing notes to myself. But like not notes to myself, more like just wiki, like a personal wiki. There's no need. So okay, where's that? Yeah, atomic notes focus on one idea. Um, as is implied by the word atomic. An atomic note, like a Zettel in a Zettelkasten, should focus on one idea. This makes it more. This makes it yeah. This opens up the note more for connection with other notes in a similar way as to how oxygen being separate from carbon allows it to form carbon dioxide, but also form um, hydrogen hydroxide. No. Uh, what's the formal name for water? Bro, can you not autocomplete my sentences? Oxidane. Hydrogen oxide. Hydrogen oxide. Water. Yeah. One thought. And I don't need to worry about my notes being short, which is actually quite nice. Like, because it feels weird to have such short notes. But like, I've got to train myself to just allow it, bruv. You know, like the simpler it is, it's a good sign. It means that it's just simple, and that you understand it. You know, Feyman. stuff, I guess. But nothing to worry about. Okay, let's actually get on with these notes again. So did I? Yeah, so I derived from this. Okay, good. More unstable interfaces than optimal performance. We need to focus on what, why, more than how. More unstable interfaces than on optimal performance given current techniques. Agreed. I would say it's better to design first, optimize later. This is the wrong app. Okay, so let's copy this into Obsidian. I'm gonna actually I want to close this because I keep accidentally opening that. Okay. By the way, I'm aware this process is looking incredibly slow, but I do think it's not a bad thing that it's slow because it forces you to okay because it forces you to think more deeply about what you're doing, and like no taking. So I expect I'll get better at typing the notes and like you know as I get used to it. Boom. I agreed. I would say it's better to design first, optimize later. General programming advice has gone quite popular, but also of course advice systems in general, at least for ones looking to stand the test of time. Uh, More similar interfaces than optimal performance given current techniques. We need to focus on what, why, more than how. So this is so okay. So again, like I'm not creating atoms from this. I'm creating atoms from the thought it inspired. I would say it's better to design first, optimize later. Why? Design first, optimize later. That's really vague though. So I can elaborate on it now, I guess. So I would say it's better to design first, optimize later. Um, by designing first, honestly, no. This is this is very much related to this. So tell you what I want to do. I'm going to take this note and then just reference the same note, but a different part of it. Right. Okay. Um, Design issue. Yeah. Our design issue is not a kind of decision process issue. I don't know. I don't know what beyond meant in this case. No language feature or library exists in isolation, or at least it shouldn't. Okay. So, but before I read that, I'll just copy it and copy the contents. In C++, this is the case, but the same is not necessarily true of languages like Haskell and Rust, which are a lot more atomic. That being said, atoms can exist in isolation, but to drive something bigger, like a language, then they obviously do not. My point is that it's interesting and potentially more robust if they are able to exist in isolation. Even if a language chooses to restrict the large configurations of atoms, I theorize it is bad design to fuse these items in implementation. Rather, even if the interface is fixed, the ability for the language to create new interfaces or modify system ones at the implementation levels should be counteratomic. So my argument here was okay. Atom. Let me change my settings actually for new files. New notes should be in atoms by default. Yeah. It is interesting to design language features that function, that are able to function in isolation, but then connect with other features to form something powerful. The importance of them being able to exist in isolation is that it creates more possible ways to combine features and allows one to improve a subsystem to improve on a subsystem level rather than have to tackle a monolithic convoluted system. Um, Topics, programming language design. Even if a language chooses to restrict the lock configuration of atoms, I theorize it is by design to fuse these atoms in implementation. Rather, even if they visit as they restrict freedom. As it can cause issues down the line if wanting to or needing to improve that feature. To expand that feature. Rather, even if it is fixed, the ability of the language to create new features or modify existing ones. If a language chooses to restrict the allowed configurations of atoms of these atomic features. Okay. And my source is this again. Oh my days. His what? How can you be so certain? Um, for example, Rust does, yeah, Rust derives. Oh my god, Rust derives. Bro, I don't know what I'm doing to my eyes. I'm like, it's not good. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. For example, Rust derives many of its powerful features from smaller more atomic systems, which it largely adopts from functional programming. Result types are a great example of this, as they are just algebraic data types and nothing more, as they are just a defined algebraic a a normal, just a specific sum type, specific instance of a sum type of an algebraic data type. Contrast this with Zig, for example, which has result types built into the language. Meaning it would be stuck if a new system, if a new, better system ever came around. Yeah, like one reason that C++ is able to get away with having so many features is that it doesn't force the features on you. Like, you're not forced to use exceptions. A lot of the standard library may use exceptions, but even then, like, they add ways, or they've added ways for you to avoid exceptions in the standard library. Although sometimes, like sometimes you have to use them, but like the point is, you don't have to use exceptions as an error thing if you don't have to, because you're just not required to. Like with Rust, like the result type, you can also return just a normal type. You can return a maybe type. You can create your own more complicated result type. Like, it's just more flexibility, and that's generally a good thing. Is this one idea? Yeah, like this is the idea. This is an example. Okay, well, this is the idea. This is the context, I guess. But like, this is like an explanation. Anyway, I think it's one idea. So, programming language features should be atomic, not reliant on each other. Should connect to, but not rely on each other. Or what's the word? Like, if something works together with something else well, work together, synergize. Yeah, should synergize, synergize. How do you spell synergize? Synergies. No, synergize. What? Synergize. Bro, why is Obsidian's dictionary so ass? Synergize with, but not rely on each other. Yeah. You know, like two features that may synergize well with each other. Um, that's not really what I was saying in this example though, right? Or maybe it is. Like, result types in Haskell, because I know that better. Like, result types in Haskell are the child of the feature that is sum types, and the other feature which is the ability to create user defined types. So like it just works. Like you just and like to my understanding, I mean I don't know if Haskell was the first language to create result types, but I do suspect because Haskell has an either type, which is left or right. And I don't think it was originally intended to be an error type. It just became the error type, which makes me think that Haskell is the one that inspired it. Because why else would it like if it wasn't the first, why would it be called either? Was Haskell the first language to birth to give rise to the result type? I ask since it contains the either type, which is used for error handling, but seemingly initially unintentionally so, given the name is so vague, either left, right. I think I asked this in a lecture once, I just can't remember. No, it wasn't. But I was right about either. The conceptual ancestor is the tagged union from type theory. ML, Haskell give a central role to tagged unions. Yeah. Meta language. Okay, then standard ML. Haskell. Okay. Oh, the right branch is correct. I totally didn't catch that. Is Rust contribution? It was Rust. Mind you, yeah, the result type is kind of supported. Is it supported? Oh, is this baked into the language syntax? Like, is the question mark operator specifically for the result type in Rust, or is it a trait that you can define? That's crazy. So it actually was. Well, no, I'm not even sure. Um, is Rust's results actually baked into the language? Though, could you create your own custom result type? Yeah, yeah, exactly. You have the try traits, trait based, termination traits. Damn, really? Okay, an error or in scope without importing. Yeah, that's the main thing. But I guess that goes for all of Prelude stuff, because like vector as well, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Crazy that if I had read that with that prior knowledge, that would just got me that would just be wrong. Gotta be careful with AI, man. Okay. Nice note, I think. That one had a bit more substance to it. Um the growth from the initial nucleus of a feature to a full-blown facility should be generalization and integration with other language and library facilities. Assuming you start specialized, prefer to expand through generalization rather than the addition of special cases. Yeah, I mean that right there is literally a an atom title in of itself, if just a bit longer. How did I miss about generalization? That's embarrassing. Oh wait, it wasn't me. It was him. It's Bjorn. Bjorn. He's American spelling. I thought you were European. So atoms. Or actually, I should not be able to just do Control N, and it'll create an atom. What did I type this as, by the way? Yeah, PL design. Okay. Okay, that's the reference. Yeah. When expanding a feature, or rather a system, when expanding a system, that you want to be sustainable and robust, expand it through generalization rather than the addition of special cases, rather than just changing it to support, not even just changing it to support special cases, to specially support exceptional cases. A classic example from C++ is how std vector bool, storing its booleans as bits, messes with some of the class's abstractions and requires users to memorize those exceptions. Yeah, it sucks. This relates to the idea that we should lead from abstraction and then that should give the justification actually. Since a good abstraction provides a clear goal. Since a good abstract model provides a clear goal. Yeah. And the nice thing about not using paper notes but having digital Zettelkasten is that I can just preview what the other note says. I don't need to like search for it. So I don't need to provide as much context necessarily. So this is also abstraction or models of thinking. Systems, I guess. Systems. Is it models of thinking? No, it's systems. This is also systems. Ay ay ay. What a title, by the way. But it's quite good. So expand systems through via generalization, not by adding special cases. This now is a backlink, right? Yeah. Okay. This is the same section, by the way. Yeah, suggestions. Huh. Well, this looks like a Spanish word. Irreconciliables. Irreconcilables. God, bro. This means ideas which are so different and incompatible that they cannot be reconciled or compromised. How do I even add this? Like, should I add this as a thing as well? Like to my Zettelkasten, just have like a irreconcilables are ideas which cannot be reconciled or compromised. Like that's not really a thought; it's just a definition. Like, where would I like, and like if I even took note of that, when would I ever like refer to that again? Like I wouldn't. So unfortunately, not so good for language learning. When considering a problem like learning vocabulary, we should try to strictly hear benefits. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not reading this. Setting goals is usually far harder than the detailed design and implementation of features. Highlights the importance of a starting point, more specifically one which is clear to everyone in a collaborative project. Ooh. Yeah, this was a whole point I wanted to make. I didn't really elaborate on it in the text again. I really need to make a habit of elaborating on what I mean when I write it, because I wouldn't necessarily remember it later on when I'm porting the notes. Um, yeah. Highlights the importance of a starting point, more specifically, one which is clear to everyone in a collaborative project. So I think I need the full sentence of this actually. Setting goals is usually far harder than the detailed design and implementation of features. Just include a bit more context there. Um, a starting point setting goals for a design to a design needs a goal. Like, can I design a water bottle if I don't have the goal for it to be drank from? Like, if I design a water bottle to look pretty, like even if the goal doesn't necessarily align with what I should do, at least I can say, oh yeah, I want it to be pretty, and therefore that's my goal. So now I know what purpose it serves, and then I can also measure if my design is effective or not. A design should have a clear goal or goals. Should have clear goals attached to it, so it can be more easily So it can be evaluated effectively. This is especially true in collaborative contexts. Now, these are two ideas which I don't like. This is especially true in collaborative contexts, where designs can conflict. If the goal hasn't been clearly communicated and agreed upon. So there are obviously two ideas here. I'm just wondering if I even keep the first one. A design should have clear goals attached to it so that it can be evaluated effectively. Goals, designs are evaluated through their relative to their goals. This is especially important Okay, so let's make these two notes. So the first one, designs are evaluated also to their goals. For a design to be evaluated, it of course needs some criteria. But that criteria will depend on the goals that design is being applied to. This may or may not align with the original goals of the design. But regardless, if the not even actually, if the purpose of a design is not well understood, then it is extremely difficult to make any use of it. Like to make any to make an intended use of it, then any use of it is likely to be then any usefulness from it is likely to be from chance rather than intention. And makes the design itself extremely difficult to continue developing. Yeah. So this would be design. Like systems, design, like they're all connected. I feel like these topics are all connected, and I could probably just unify them. But for now, no design. Wait, and those are links. That's freaky. Design. Oh, because these are existing. Oh, that's actually very helpful, isn't it? Yeah. So design. Um, for design to be evaluated. Okay. What's the source for this? Yeah. I mean, it's very loose, but either way, that is a source. So, and my other notes was that in collaborative contexts, um, collaboration is mostly effective. For collaboration to be effective, for collaboration, yeah, to be effective, a goal, a goal, there needs to be a goal that has been clearly communicated and agreed upon. Has been clearly communicated, understood, and agreed upon. Since designs otherwise, there are bound to be conflicting approaches to there are bound to be conflicting designs. Yeah, why am I so stuck on this design system project? Otherwise, there are bound to be conflicting, not conflicting methodologies, but conflicting designs. Um, they're bound to be. Otherwise, um, the the project's members are bound to design, yeah, to produce conflicting designs. That have different purposes. Since designs are guided by one's goals. Collaboration and design. And this is not here. And this also uses the same references, this one. So title for this one. Effective collaboration requires a well understood common goal. Nice. How are we looking now, actually? Yeah, I'll definitely look at what? Oh crap! I curated a ghost note. Delete that. Sorry. But yeah, I definitely should look as well into like how I can merge some of these categories or rename them. Um, but later. So let me define two groups here. Path. If it's in atoms, make them purple because everyone knows that atoms are purple. If they are categories, a file. If they are categories, whatever they're called, maps, then yellow is a pretty good color, yeah. If you can call that yellow. Nice. And if they're unknown, I like gray. Can I do that? Is that a thing I can do? Nope. Okay. What's this? 0 files. Don't understand. Okay. Also, I think I can look for like at a relative graphy, right? Like for this atom, um, export to PDF. Open link to view. Open local graph. There's more. Okay. Yeah. So I can see like this links to design collaboration, and then this thing, and then this thing, and these also link to each other. Or like this links to this. I don't know why that's not highlighted. It's a bit useless actually. Oh well. Uh, PDF. Low key, how would that even look? I'm very curious. Interesting. Don't know why you would do that, but well, I mean, I do, but not for a Zettelkasten. Yeah. um. Okay. Okay. You're not good at agreeing on goals and articulating them. Generally speaking, we benefit from having more pressure to articulate why certain goals resonate with us or rub us the wrong way. Okay. I'm getting a bit tired now, but I will continue this tomorrow. There's obviously quite a bit more to go through. And it's already been 3 hours, and I've been doing this for like in total like at least 6 hours now. So yeah, I'm gonna end that recording there. But I think what we have so far is pretty damn good. I think it's promising. I think it's promising. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. Don't need the commentaries, so I can delete this later. Um, atoms and sources and maps. That's all we need, and projects. But those come later. And I also need to go through all of these and. But yeah, this has been quite good. I think. I think. Obviously, the actual benefits remain to be seen, but I am feeling optimistic. So before I finish, I'll just. Nah, I can't be bothered. I'll set up GitHub some other time. I highly doubt my computer's going to explode in the next like 2 days. So, yep. Um, yeah, nothing to say. Subscribe for more Zettelkasten content. I'll see if I get back on this tomorrow, but I think tomorrow I'll probably be busy for the entire day. Um, mind you, I'll be back at nighttime, and nighttime is my domain. So I'll see if I can finish. Because I don't want to take too long with note taking. So if I can just set up a workflow that is like quite speedy, that'd be good. That being said, slow and steady wins the race. And different ideas may be different speeds. Like if I'm writing about complex numbers, for instance, or matrices, those should be fairly fast to make notes for. But if I'm writing for more abstract concepts that are a bit more deep and difficult to talk about, like what I've been doing so far, like I don't know, leading from abstraction allows purposeful implementation with flexibility to improve over time. Like those are not as simple as like two numbers added together is the sum. So it's to be expected. But like regardless of how long it takes, and I know this isn't like a reliable metric, but I feel like it's helpful. So I'm not really noticing it. Like these 3 hours have passed by pretty quickly for me because I feel like I'm not like wasting time. I do actually feel like this is useful and will be useful. So, but that's my initial thoughts. As I try making use of these notes, I will evaluate subconsciously even whether or not it's actually useful. And then if I have the way I know is that if I ever reach a point where I'm making notes, or like I mean, just for anything, if I reach a point where I'm doing something and I start noticing like the time and I start like just like feeling like bored or like just like or like tired. I mean, either it means I'm tired and I need to take a break, or it means I'm no longer seeing the value. I mean, not just like one session. I mean, I mean like long term. If I'm finding that repeatedly, I no longer have the motivation. That's it. Like if I no longer feel motivated to keep doing the thing, then that probably means I'm not seeing good returns. Because I mean, if I'm benefiting from it directly, then I don't see any reason why I would lose the motivation to do it. But if I consciously or subconsciously cannot justify the continuance of it, then I'm just not going to continue doing it. So we'll see. The real test will be whether I can make blog posts and or videos and stuff like that from it. But my teeth, I need braces, man. Look at that. Like this is like pushed in almost. Crazy stuff. Anyway, subscribe for more Zettelkasten videos. Um, this is good. I also like that I'm documenting the process. Oh, chat, what? Because if I as I document this process of Zettelkastening, I can make a video later about my experience Zettelkastening with direct evidence. Yep. Anyway, subscribe. Enough. Good night.